the hits just keep on coming. It's we knew it's a star-studded event every year at the Triple Crown Sparkler and Fireworks. Everybody's here, and Connie May's here. That means everybody is here.
Everybody's officially here.
Yeah, you've now made it. So Connie May joins us next. Kind of came out, the evolution, for those who go back a little ways, TXFC was the program. Scrapyard Dogs is now the official name of the youth program. We've got the NPF club. So you've got, I was going to say this umbrella, you've got kind of a handful of umbrellas.
Handful of umbrellas add into that Scrapyard Sports facility. So we try to do everything. We get a full circle for the game.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the build-up of this entire process.
Thank you.
If somebody said how many years did it take you to get from the very first flickering of a thought to where you are now, how long has that been?
Flickering of a thought for the game, I've been doing it for probably more years, like 43 years. I know. So the game itself has been part of me for my entire life. And then transitioned into coaching my daughter. I played for a long time, coached my daughter, transitioned from that into, okay, well, she's done. How do I continue to give back? Was approached by ownership of the Scrapyard Dogs to, hey, do you want to coach an MPF team? And I'm like, yeah, no. So got more into the business side. That's more probably my niche. There's people that coach significantly better than me at that level. So let the professionals do what they do, and I'll handle behind the scenes.
Well, you spent some time in the oil and gas industry
I
and some
did.
IT and some CEOs. I mean, you've got the – I'll say it. I'll say it. You got the chops from the business side of it.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty it's important for the game that not only do you have people who love the game, play the game, know the game, but also people understand that part and the business side, because if it's going to go where it's headed,
right,
it's going to take some people like that. What's your observation on sort of that front office level of professional softball?
Well, the office level, I think we really don't do a very good job right now on the collegiate level of teaching these girls how to be self-sustaining. A lot of our travel ball teams are significantly more prepared than some of even the kids we're getting out of college. So we do a lot of work to prepare them as far as how do you handle financial aid? How do you handle loans? I talk them through home loans. So my financial background for everything that I did and growing up, just kind of relay that back to the athlete. And so we grow the athletes even after they become at the pro level. But the financial side of anything is always your meat and potatoes. If that fails, it'll fail.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where I can contribute the best. Obviously, I love to watch the game, so I know talent fairly well. And obviously, pick Monica. So I think I got it.
So speaking of which, Monica was here a moment ago, and we talked with her a little bit about the milestone, the groundbreaking moment, the contract that Monica signed. It's important in a lot of ways. There's some symbolism to it. There's just so many pieces of that. But you were the architect of that process.
Right.
Monica told us sort of her perspective on it. Because there was a lot of coverage, and you get you get a lot of positive, and of course you get your negative, and you get all your things you get. What was your from your seat in that process? What was it like?
There's going to be a significant amount of time before the sport gets another Monica. So for us to actually do that deal, we felt like us coming out as an expansion team, we have the facility that we're also trying to promote. I'm in it for the female athlete, trying to make sure that they grow and they get the opportunities that the male athlete has. And when we sat back and tried to orchestrate that deal, it was so important to make that deal one contract. And that was the challenge because the salary cap is so low. But when we sat back, we said, hey, how can we do it? How can we change the game? I mean, the game will probably be 20 years or so before we get another pitcher as dominant as Monica, and that can really value that deal. And she's such an ambassador for it. I mean, she's very humble. She's very hardworking. You won't find anybody even on our team that works as hard as her. She took some of the pitchers through a workout, and I think half of them pulled a muscle. So, I mean, just even at her age to do what she does, she's an incredible athlete and an incredible ambassador to carry that torch.
Yeah, she's the current NPF Pitcher of the Week, so further proving the point that she's just out there grinding away. And I want to help you. You still have some shards of that glass ceiling on your left on.
Yeah, we're going to rupture through that.
Let's get that glass ceiling off you.
Yeah.
Good job breaking at least a piece of it.
I'm always on the bloody side of everything. It's fine. It's fine.
You're okay with that role.
Yeah.
The NPF wraparound, or I guess the Sparkler Fireworks wraparound of this NPF exhibition series that comes through, really very cool to watch. And there are 4 fields here at this park, so there will be an NPF game going on here,
right,
and there will be youth games, high school level games, club games going on all around it. As you watch the evolution, and we're going to go next to the USA program, I guess is where I'm headed.
Right.
What are you seeing? You've been watching it for a long time, and how do you feel about it?
Well, the challenge right now for the league is that when we're in our height of our season, all of our audience is elsewhere. So it's been kind of a focus of our ownership to make sure we bring the game to where the athletes are. So if you don't do that and you never make a point to get here, there's so many people miss out. I think the first year we were here, there were people that even said, there's a pro league?
Yeah.
And it was really strange to think that people didn't even acknowledge that it existed. So I feel like the more we continue to bring the game to the athletes, I think they do it again in Kansas City in a couple weeks. So we're going to continue to do that. We've got some pretty creative things going for as far as a fall league. Get out kind of to the colleges and really try to go to the athlete so that they can understand what we have and what we do and how important it is that there is another level. If you are that athlete that you want to do it and you choose to do it, now we just got to get the corporate backers behind it. So once the corporations get involved, then the money side comes into play and we start giving these guys a viable way to earn a living 12 months out of the year doing the game.
Yeah, it's interesting, because a lot of people will say, hey, if you can get the viewers and the fans, you're talking business and finance, well, you got to have people who watch.
Yeah, buy tickets.
You look at the numbers on the Women's College World Series and on support of college softball and the magnetism, the magnetic quality of that sport.
Right.
I mean, it's waiting there. Just some people need to tweak it and fine-tune it.
It is. I personally think this league needs to move back. I think we need to get more in line with baseball. It's just difficult until we get those corporate sponsors involved. Right now, almost half our team are college coaches. So what do they have to do? They have to leave, right? So we have to squeeze what we do into a very small window. Once we start to get the support, which we're already starting to see, I did some stuff with Audi. They did that Super Bowl commercial, and I pushed back, got a great email from the president of Audi USA. So hopefully we'll see some of those things growing as we move forward, but we've got to push that back so that we're not coming off the crescendo of the College World Series and then trying to build another product. It kind of goes like this, and then we have to go back up. We need to give them a little bit of time to get hungry for it again and then give it to them.
Yeah,
just my opinion.
No, it's a great point. We had Monica Abbott up here. We had Crystal Bustos up here, and it's just fun, and I'll do the same thing. It's just kind of fun to take this one word and some numbers and throw them on the desk and see what you say. Tokyo 2020.
Right. Huge for the softball world, and it's still not a core sport yet. So what you're seeing is all the different countries around the world trying to grow the game for themselves. And when everybody starts doing that and we really start to work together to make the sport big, I just got back from Malta with Team USA, and you'd be surprised they are just now getting softball in schools. They have maybe 30 kids that even know how to play. The coaches didn't know how to play. So even though it's such a huge game here and the World Series and all those things, they watch it and enamored with it from so far, they don't even know how to play and don't have the opportunity to play. So super important for 2020 in Tokyo for the world to get better. And once the world gets better, you're going to see that the Olympic Committee is going to decide, hey, maybe this is something that we need to make a core sport again. Baseball obviously is good enough, but they are packaged. So, it'll be great if we can get everybody on the same page. So our goal is to grow the game. We have probably 10 USA athletes on the field tonight, and they're all here. So it's pretty cool to have it back, but we're not over the hill yet.
Yeah.
We've got another one past that we really need to get everybody behind it and get the corporations behind it so that it can really grow.
Yeah, it's interesting. We say Tokyo 2020, and some people that sounds like a long time away, but if you're in the game, that's coming fast.
It's here. It's here. I tell everybody it's Christmas right at January because time flies, and especially in this sport, we kind of gauge our season is basically in weekends. So if you break it down like that, you're at 52 right off the bat. It drops very quickly. So, before you know it, we'll be back here again and talking about it, and it'll be right around the corner.
You mentioned your roster, the Scrapyard Dogs out here, and I was just thinking a second ago about as the college game, the more parity that we can get, and the more competition from a variety of sources. And so within the SEC, obviously, has become this dominant source, but within themselves, one of the perennial cellar dwellers, Ole Miss, makes a run to the top.
Oh, yeah.
And another interesting one is in the Pac-12, known as a softball hotbed. Right. All of a sudden, Utah climbs the ladder, and you have some Utah influence
I have
involved.
Flippin'.
I do. I want to hear about your Utah kid a little bit.
You know what you're going to get. There's certain programs when we go out and we're scouting, we know the programs that we're going to get the kids that just have a really high passion for winning, and they know how to work. We're definitely Scrapyard Dogs is what you would symbolize is not the premier of the crop. They're the kid that had to work or the dog that had to work. So that's my motto. How hard can you work today? Flippin's that kid. And just what a great ambassador for the game. She's funny, she's fun, she's an excellent teammate. So all the things that make her what a great person she is. And by the way, she's a stud. So, when you can combine those things and fill a field with that, you're going to win a lot of games. And they're going to play for each other because they're great teammates.
Yeah, if you play the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon version of in softball, you've got Amy Hogue on speed dial, I would imagine.
Right.
And she's got connections to Joe Evans, who's got connections to your daughter.
Exactly. Well, we know everybody. I mean, don't forget, I run travel ball too. So
right.
Been involved in this game for a very long time. Even out here, I walk around and people are like, oh my gosh, you know that person, and you don't realize it because it's just your everyday people that you talk to. But there are some really great people in the game, and to be able to tap into those athletes, it's huge.
So a setting like this with hundreds of college coaches
Right.
crawling around 800-plus teams of youth players, I mean, this is like harvest season and a giant reunion for you and national convention.
It is, and it's. I try to not bother most of my college coaches during their season. They're usually very knee-deep in what they're doing. If I have kids in their program, they might reach out. But outside of that, you kind of just let them work. They're doing their job and what pays their bills. And so when we get here, it's like, hey, how are you doing? And you catch up, and then at the end you go, oh, by the way, I have an athlete you might want to look at. But the best part of this is, for me, now they're turning around and going, hey, I got an athlete you need to look at. So it's almost like taking it all full circle. It's really, really been dynamic and fun.
Yeah, it all pays off after all those years
It
of hard work
does.
you're doing. Connie May with the Scrapyard Dogs, the GM and the architect of a variety of great developments. Thank you for your part in helping this be part of the Sparkler Fireworks.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Hopefully years to come, Dave King will keep having us.
All right, that's Connie May. Thank you.
Thanks.
Takes the run. Gonna go deep. Has a man. Oh, man. Did he catch that ball? Yes, he did.
What a catch. Going up and make.
Messi now from out shooting. Tries to scoop it over. Nice kick, and it's in. Hi, Mom and Dad. I know they're watching. So.
So far, the second is all in favor. Right to the outside. Get out. Oh, he hops over a tackle.
During the inning, and that is flared. And what a great diving stop.
There's Binky on the left flank. There's the pass. There's the header. Done to go. Second down. The rush run to the left side. Cut back. She still has the flag. Moves, and that will be a touchdown.
One far side of the field. Quick pass. Halfback throw wide open, and he's got him for a touchdown.
Sheet is on his way for his second try for Ohio State.
Gives this one a ride to left field. Left fielder back, checking where the fence is, and this one is gone.
Had to leave immediately after. And what a play, as it was a reverse wide receiver pass wide open, and that is how you start a game.
Back, the pressure coming again, balls up in the air. It is caught though. That's Ishmael Cisse spinning free for tackles, and he's off to the foot race. What a play there by Ishmael Cisse.